from beating people over the head with a rock until their skulls had a hole so big you can literally see their brains, to dump human remains into a deep cave, where scientists later discovered a site that would forever traumatize them for the rest of their lives. This is the story behind human history's first, most ruthless and punishing serial killer. My stomach is hurting. It's my mama's lasagna. It's not sitting too well with me. Hey, Mr. Holy. Wait, Mr. Holy, come and narrate the rest of the video. I have to go take a dump.
In 2015, scientists and researchers were digging up a cave in Spain and so happened to stumble across a scary and eerie discovery. 28 human remains belonging to the Cima de los Roses people that roughly lived at least 430,000 years ago were found. What's very strange is this somewhat human species doesn't look like modern day humans. They weren't even Neanderthals either. Unfortunately, there wasn't Facebook or a camera for these people to post pictures of themselves. So scientists only know a little about this species. However, scientists would argue the Cima de los Roses were the early human ancestors of the Neanderthals. The scientists ran numerous of tests on many injuries sustained on the human skulls found to determine what it could be. Maybe the humans fell into the caves and hit their heads on a rock. Or did someone intentionally have a strong urgency to commit murder? After examining the skulls, they believe the person was struck in the head just above the left eye socket with a blunt object. Due to the continuing pattern of the injuries, the perpetrator was also right-handed when he struck the victims in the head. Scientists were able to discover this by the different angles on the fractured skull. The bones also showed no evidence of healing, resulting in the victim dying instantly. The skull had 2 holes in it and was the same shape. The impact of the wounds appears to be done with the same weapon the suspect used repeatedly. Someone killed these people. The real question is, why? Why would someone commit these acts? Well, life was a lot harder back then. Survival of the fittest. Only the biggest and toughest survive. There were no guns, nuclear bombs, or military like what we have today. People genuinely had to know how to fight to sustain their life. The scientists discovered that the 28 victims were of all ages, and one victim in particular had a severe pathology in her lower back. So that person needed assistance to live before they were murdered. Serial killers prey on the weak. They like to strike when they know you are most vulnerable. This killer would have to be intelligent, strong, and highly manipulative to have the power to lie, persuade, and kill consecutively, with just the object he is holding in his bare hands.
As for the killer, was no such thing as police, law and order, criminal intent, or what this man needed the most. Dr. Phil. He got away with murder. Only a small number of serial killers today and back then get away with their horrendous crimes. Think about this for a second. The scientists only discovered one cave with 28 victims located. Serial killers can sometimes black out and have homicidal tendencies, usually at a young age. Not remembering some of the actions they committed. So the world will never know the exact victims of this brutal maniac. Serial killers live among us today, in your family, friends, colleagues, and even your next door neighbor. The next time you are sitting at home in your apartment watching TV and you hear a drill coming from the vent, you get up from the couch and go to investigate. You say to yourself, "Wow, my neighbor has a really strong toothbrush. He must have aggressive gingivitis. Or is it something else?" Well, we will never know until it's shown on the news the next day.